Oh, hello, sweet children of Jesus and sweet lambs of Jesus. For today's story, I want to read you a story about summer and spring, the two squirrels. It was autumn, and St. Catherine's Hill in Winchester was blooming with colour as the leaves turned rusty brown, red and orange. It was a beautiful sight. Among the treetops lived Summer the squirrel. Summer was a very hard worker. She had to be, so she could feed her two children, her son and daughter. Spring Squirrel lived next door to Summer. She was also very busy squirrel, and she had three children, a son and two daughters. Spring would collect nuts and berries together with Summer all the time. And also, Summer really wished she had time to pursue her talents more, which was keeping young children amused by performing tricks in front of them. Summer believed it was good for the children's soul to make them happy. Spring looked up to Summer and longed to be talented just like her best friend, and also very kind like her best friend, who was kind-hearted and had a heart of gold. Spring at times felt as though she and Summer should just maybe put some time aside every night, just an hour to increase their talents. However, there was no time because poor Summer had to work really hard, and even though Summer wanted to pursue her talents even more, she couldn't really find the time to do it, which was sad because she had so much talent, and she's also very kind-hearted to go with it. However, Summer had big hopes and ideas. She wanted to attract many children in big groups. So Summer came up with an idea. How about you use your talent, sweet little sister, and we can inspire the children together. And that way, if we come together and children are gathered in, then we'll have more time to pursue our talents then. And Summer replied, "It is a good idea." Sorry, Spring replied, "It is a good idea. That way children will feed us and we won't have to work." Summer replied, "I know, life is so exhausting. If only we had the time and energy every night and day in order to practice our talents, that would be such a wonderful life. But I, of course, have to gather food for my children. That's my first priority. That's my work. And then I have to clean the nest nicely so that my children have a nice place to live in." Spring the squirrel thought about what Summer said and how she could help her best friend, and climbed up to the tree bark back to her children. Spring's son was very mature for his age, and all her three children reassured her after she thought that she had no talent. Her children suggested for her to go on a journey, teens, so that she could maybe discover what her talent was. The teenagers was walking about around the nest, and they were admiring the sweet squirrels. But Spring did not want to leave her children, but they all insisted her to, and not to worry, because her son was old enough to take care of himself and his younger siblings. Spring set off running down St. Catherine's Hill and wondered if Summer was wanting to come and join her on this wonderful and mysterious trip of discovery. So Spring climbed up to Summer and said, "My children suggested that I go on a journey. Please, beloved sister, come with me." But Summer gently and kindly replied, "Well, I wish I could, my sweetheart. I really love playing and talking to you. But who is going to look after my children and gathering nuts, berries, and insects for them if I'm gone?" Spring replied, "You're right. Your kids do have to come first. That is a top priority, and that's understandable top priority, and that's how it should be. And that's so right. But Spring did wish that she could help Summer with her chores. But Spring thought that maybe if she could find her talent, that she could not only feed her own children, but help feed Summer's children and her best friend's family too. And Summer's children, they had not even eaten yet. Poor Summer was feeling overwhelmed after preying on caterpillars, and Summer always kindly told her children not to eat caterpillars in front of Spring, because Spring was a vegetarian, and so she always respected Spring for being a vegetarian. She was very kind like that. But then suddenly a really kind jaybird called Jessie came flying down and spoke very kindly to Summer. "It's okay, my dear. I would take care of everything. Just go on your adventure. Your friend, Sheila, your friend had never seen such kind eyes in her entire life, and her heart melted. Summer felt that she could trust him. Jessie kindly reassured Spring and told her that she was gifted, even though Spring just giggled nervously because she felt she was stupid and had nothing to offer, even when with her desires to. Jessie, with kind eyes, gently said, "One day you will multiply your talents together and no longer will have to work non-stop." Summer and Spring rolled down the hill together, laughing. They ran all the way down to the river Itchen and played there for a while, jumping off the bridge together and splashing in the water below, then swimming out of the river and around to the bridge and jumping off there again. Summer had found a plank of wood. "Spring, let's use this plank of wood to make a boat. It would be so much fun." Giggled Summer. "Yeah," cried Spring in excitement. They floated down the river Itchen together and in turn jumped up to the branches and back to the plank again. They passed by cattle grazing on the banks and just relaxed into each other's arms. They passed by friendly swans and ducks with their young ducklings. The two best friends even came across otters and some beautiful, colourful dragonflies. The atmosphere was very pleasant, and the two best friends told each other that they love each other very much. They prayed together for the Creator to help them show and increase their talents, but also to be able to find the time in order to do so, to spread love and joy constantly. However, the piece was cut short when all of a sudden a dog jumped into the water, grabbing away the plank of wood from under their feet. Spring grabbed onto some riverweed and could have easily climbed up the river. However, Summer was not so lucky, and Spring watched as her very best friend was being pulled away by the rushing water towards the waterfall. Spring was not going to let Summer get drowned, so she let go of the river weed and risked her life to save Summer, because she loved her with all her heart, more than life itself. Spring screamed after Summer and swam towards her and grabbed her, managing to turn her upright to feet position. Both fell hopelessly down the waterfall together, but Spring managed to stop Summer from drowning by holding her upright. However, on the way down, Spring hit her head against the rocks, and she shouted out what sounded to Summer some very interesting sounds. Crash splash, they both hit their bottom feet first. There was no injuries apart from Spring, who was knocked out after hitting the rocks. Summer pulled Spring to the side of the river and gently stroked her brow, crying, "Please wake up, my sweet little sister." The same dog that took their plank came back and started growling and drooling at them. Spring woke up, feeling terrified. Summer then, with her claws, very bravely scratched the dog in the face to protect Spring, who was just about to be bitten. The dog yelled and ran off. "Thank you so much, I love you," Spring said to Summer. Summer gently replied, "I love you too, little sister, and you helped save my life too. We are inseparable and always will be." With that, they both ran up St. Catherine's Hill together. Jessie the jaybird had gone, and there was no sign of him. They bounced off from tree to tree back to the nest to their children. Summer asked, "Where has Jessie gone? I thought he was looking after you, and teens are around the tree again looking up at you. But I also thought that she was also looking after Spring's children." But all of the young squirrels told both Summer and Spring that he had been taking very good care of them all. But as soon as he saw their mums coming, that he just disappeared without even knowing where he was going. Summer and Spring looked at each other, smiling. They never knew that he was not any ordinary jaybird, but sent for a very special reason. Summer encouraged and revealed to Spring what her talent was. She discovered that she had some very deep and unique thoughts, and she could turn into unique sounds. And from that day, Summer and Spring used their talents together, happily working side to side for the greater good. Once they used their talents together, they both drew in more and more children until the whole of St. Catherine's Hill was full of children, covering even the maze on the top of the hill. They now had time to pursue their talents because they put their talents together. And when they put their talents together, this attracted in more children, and it was a perfect harmony of love and talent. They no longer had to work because when they put their talents together, it sounded even better to everybody around, which in turn drew more and more children, and the children gathered in nuts for them and fed the squirrels for them, so they no longer had to work anymore. And they both lived side by side happily ever after. Proverbs 18:24. A man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend that stays closer than a brother. when you really love someone, this is my thoughts, when you really love someone and you really love someone, you'd be willing to do anything for them. Spring risked her life when she jumped into the waterfall to try and save Summer, and Summer in turn loved her Spring so much that she risked her life when she scratched the dog in the face to try and protect the one that she loved. And God has given us all talents. I don't know if you read the stories about the 1 and 5 talents. To one he gave 5 talents, and to next he gave 2, and the other one he gave 1 to. And the one with 5 talents used the talents for his glory and doubled it, and so did the one with 2 talents. But the one that was given 1 just wasted it. But when you think about it, Spring was lucky that she had such a wonderful friend to encourage her with her talent. Because if she never did, maybe she would have just, given up on her talent too and not have used it for, the greater glory. So, what a wonderful friend there that she had, because it means that she encourages her to use her talents and reveal to it what it was, and in turn, it will make the heart of God happy, and not only that, hopefully more people will be drawn into it, so wanting to know Jesus and everything, and to be drawn to the light. And that's what we must use our talents for, to draw people into the light and draw them closer to Jesus and closer to God. So anyway, I hope you're all blessed, and God bless you all. Bye for now.